Hey, what's up, people? What's happening? This your guy Nate on another amazing, extraordinary episode of the Extraordinary Exchange Podcast, brought to you by the Extraordinary Investment Group. We 12 Black men doing good stuff in the community, focusing on education and smart financial strategies. I got my co-host Benzino in the building. What's good, Benz?
What's up with you, man? How you feeling tonight?
All is well, man. Season 2 is on and rolling.
We out here.
Tonight we got another phenomenal guest, Morgan alum, originally from the DMV, I believe.
Yes.
Photographer extraordinaire, entrepreneur, Delta, and she'll get into her story. Y'all get to know her and hear what she got going on. But without further ado, welcome to the podcast, Miss Tania S.
Thanks for having me.
Also known in the streets as Nini Photo.
Yes.
With the extravagant backdrop back there.
The Haven at my house.
Okay.
Yeah. If you could give the listeners an even more in-depth synopsis of who you are and what it is you do that landed you on this dope podcast.
First I want to say I'm a child of God. Yes.
Man, there we go.
I am a full-time civil engineer. I do roadway permitting for Prince George's and Montgomery County. And I'm also a freelance photographer.
Very dope, very dope.
So how did you go from engineering to photography? How did that transition happen?
It's not a transition. I've been doing them both at the same time.
Simultaneously. Okay. Does photography help you in that field?
At this juncture in my career, yes. I would say photography has been coming into my engineering side, but I feel like the two kind of intertwine. So I use like my project management skills from engineering on how I organize my photos and my business for the photography. And I feel like I bring my photography and creativity in how I am an engineer at my job.
That's dope. That's very dope. Very dope. We talk a lot about how different areas of your life can catapult you, and you can use those as benefits in other areas of your life. So seeing that engineering side and then the creative side in photography is super dope. So, the streets, as we were doing our research for this podcast, used to call you paparazzi. Talk about how folks calling you paparazzi kind of ushered you into officially doing this thing called photography.
Wow, you have definitely done your research.
We do what we do around here,
Okay. Paparazzi started when I was an undergrad at Morgan. I got a refund check for like $1,300. I blew it all on my first professional camera. And I was just going around taking pictures of people all the time, and they were just calling me paparazzi. Yeah. And then somebody said never do anything you're good at for free. So I started charging people. But back then in college, people were paying me in like gas money, buying me fruit from 7-Eleven, $20, $60. But today, my clients pay me hundreds to thousands of dollars and fly me out domestically and internationally to take their photo. Period.
Let's talk about it. The glow up is real, y'all.
The Lord is in the blessing business.
So I feel like we're in an era now where everybody got a camera. Everybody got a camera on their phone. Everybody thinks they can take pictures. What does a professional photographer do for me for hundreds of thousands of dollars? I feel like I can't do it on my own phone. What are you doing that I can't do?
Great question.
I mean, yes, you can take a picture on your phone, but the limitations of what the phone can do and what my $2,000 plus camera can do, and then my $1,400 lens, and then me with 14 years of experience, it's a little different.
Okay.
I don't really know how to explain it, but when you look at a photo, because I'm a photographer, I analyze it real quick. I can figure out where it is, what settings was used, and what it was captured on. But some people don't look at photos that deep. But I feel like my clients see the value in a well captured image.
Okay, I can appreciate that. So, what are some of these? Kind of explain that process when you do get flown out to these different venues and do these different things. What's that process look like? Like, how do you decide? Like, do you map out your playbook beforehand? I want to get a shot from this angle, shot. Like, how does all those things like work out?
So if I'm being flown somewhere,
Mm,
not necessarily. So if I'm being flown somewhere, I'll look on Google Maps and kind of get an idea of the land, but it's you really can't tell until you actually get there. So I'm trying to like do like a little walk around when I do get somewhere, but no, when I'm being flown out, it's only so much I can do from the United States.
I got you. So you kind of got to figure it out when you get there. I
Yeah,
got
I get there and try to scope it out. But like I had a client take me to South Africa this summer and that
you.
was really dope. But that was more like not photo shoot based, it was more storytelling,
Mm.
capturing the experience. So she's a travel agent. I met her in the Maldives and
Mm.
she had 30 people go on a trip to South Africa. So she had me capture the trip.
Okay, and that's as far as that takes less pre-planning because you're kind of capturing what's going on. So you just kind of
Yeah,
got
I'm
to get.
capturing the
Yeah,
moments of the people on the trip. Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
Not like, oh, a photo shoot with this lighting. That would have been a lot.
Yeah.
But I did have a client fly me out to California to do a bunch of random shoots. Flying the equipment out is quite irritating.
Mm.
It's better if the stuff is there and I could just rent it. I'm not flying my equipment out again. But yeah, it just depends on the assignment itself.
Okay.
How difficult is that to use other equipment? You know what I'm saying? Is it like
I would just rent similar of what I own.
you're familiar with? Right, right.
Yeah, instead of trying to ship my stuff over there. Actually, when I was going to South Africa, there was a guy trying to shoot a video for a commercial, and he was like, "What do you mean my equipment is already on the plane? I'm getting paid for the shoot. I need my equipment." I was like,
Mm.
see, it's always something trying to travel with your equipment. So I just travel with like my camera and my carry on because I'm not playing with the check in. But I used to put larger stuff like checked in, but I don't even want to do that going forward. I'm gonna just rent for wherever area I'm gonna be in. Hopefully they have it.
So we
When I
have
just when I just flew back, I forgot and actually left my laptop in my bag. I put on the plane, and I was so afraid. Like if they lose my computer and I don't get it off this thing, I'm gonna be so upset. I was the whole flight. I couldn't even relax because I was so mad. I left my because I was so upset with that. So I get what you
I
said.
always keep my laptop, my phone, and my camera on me. Everything else, I figured out.
yeah, right.
And that's how I am. But this one particular, like I said, just last week, I left my stuff in my bag, and as soon as I got on the plane and reached in my carry-on, and I realized what I did,
Realize
I was so upset with myself. Like I'm gonna be the first time I'm gonna get down there, go find my bag, my laptop. They're gonna break it. They're gonna. I was so upset. So
was the laptop okay?
it was okay. It was
Okay,
okay.
glory, glory.
Lord.
Praise them. Praise them.
We are just navigating Morgan campus. They calling me paparazzi. I start shooting shots of people. I'm getting paid in gas and food. Talk about the glow up from there. What the process was like from
Okay,
going.
so the next level up from that
Yeah, that's
was
what I'm
the
saying. So
college parties.
I'm looking at the website real quick. We got collaborations with Essence, Dove, Total Wine, Corona, like big
Mm.
household names and brands. What was the process like from going from there to I'm working with these big brands? I'm getting flued out to South Africa and Cali and the Maldives. What was that
So,
like?
so from college, well, in college, I was taking all the college party photos.
Hmm.
So
Okay. You
all
heard
my
me.
friends are standing in line in the cold, paying to get in the party. I'm walking in with the camera.
Hmm.
It's better than VIP.
It
I
is.
get to go in every room. I get to be on stage with the performers. Like, oh, it was lit. So, that. And then from doing club photography, I kind of converted, started doing weddings. Weddings was okay. They just take up a lot of my day. I retired. I don't do those anymore.
Hmm.
Um, And then the companies, those have just kind of come from people I photographed over the years and like places they work. So I know someone that's in a communications department or a project manager, and they know they have this photography or video need. They think of me and they give me the contract.
Connections.
That's really it. I've never ran an ad. I've never marketed. No.
Talk about
Network is your net worth.
That's a
network
fact.
is net worth, dropping gems.
I actually just put my business on Google last year. Either last July. Yeah, I think it was last July.
And
I
did you see
have
an uptick in the amount of clients that you get, the amount of traffic
yes.
coming your way? Okay.
So now that I had just put it on Google, I think last July, I have like 120 5-star reviews. So I sent the link out to like old clients, like, oh, leave me a review, leave me a review. So all my new clients come from Instagram because I rebranded my Instagram and Google. But all of those aren't corporate. I probably got like one corporate gig off of there. Most of those from Instagram and Google have been regular clients, like people, not entities.
So when you earlier you said as a trained eye, you can kind of look at the photo and see the surroundings, things like that. Is there something special that you bring? Do you have a special technique, a special something different that you would that I can look and say, oh, I can recognize of your line of photos. Is there anything that you would do differently as you bring to the table as an individual? With your eye?
Yes. So I feel like a big part of my business getting even better was me realizing that people don't necessarily come to me because I take the best photos in the world. Like I can name 10 photographers off the rip that I think are amazing and take better images than me. But people come to me for my personality and my professionalism and how comfortable I make them feel at their shoot. Whether it's their first shoot or they've done shoots 1,000 times, I melt all their nervousness away and make them feel confident. And I love when they're like, oh, my eyelash, oh, my heel, oh, this doesn't, like, they're freaking out about a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, girl, you look good. Put your hand on your hip. Look like that. Boom. And then I show them the picture and they light up and they're like, oh, boom, I got it. So it's more of a transfer of energy.
And that's very important because many people, such as myself, don't feel comfortable taking pictures, especially when you got a model and none about like there's a large percentage of people out here who don't feel comfortable doing that for whatever
Yes.
reason. And so that photographer together and giving you a little cue, making you feel better, helping you with your eyelash, I'm sure goes a long way of making the pictures come out better in the long run. 1,000%.
Yes. And then even like the small details, like people who have shot before, and I'm like, oh, I'm shooting, blah, 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 blah. But then I'm like, oh, this piece of hair, oh, the bra strap, or, like fixing a small detail. And they're like, you don't know how many times I've done shoots and nobody's ever fixed it. And I'm like, man, if they would have told me, the pictures would have been better. So just my attention to detail also.
And in that moment, you are getting that own person's insecurity. So
Yeah.
they're gonna look for that when the photos come out on the back end
Yes.
because that's what they care about. So that's important.
And then even sometimes, I'm plus size and I know women, we don't like our stomach showing. I'd be like, phew. And they'd be like, oh, girl, thank you. Yep. And I'd be like, put your arm right here, cover it. Yep. I already know the things because I do the things myself.
And that's important.
Got all the tricks of the trade. 14 years experience. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Be 15 next month.
So what was like that pivotal anniversary that started it all? Was it just you being at Morgan, or when did you start saying like, all right, I'm officially a photographer? Was it when you filed your LLC? Was it your first wedding? Like what?
So when I say my year mark is me counting from when I bought my professional camera.
Okay.
Because that was my first big investment. It was like January 10th, 2010. So January 10th, 2025 be 15 years I've owned a professional camera.
What haven't you shot yet that you like? Because we just saw on the social media, you doing a dope photo shoot with the legendary Miss Sheila Johnson, a bunch of other like notable names. Just check out the social media, y'all. Y'all will get all the the notes in the podcast notes. But What's been your most memorable shoot? And then what is a shoot, like your dream shoot that, oh man, I just gotta photograph this person or collaborate with this brand?
So most memorable would have to be Sheila Johnson, as you
Mm.
said. That was like a month and a half ago. So it's the most recent and top tier. We got a free night at the Salamander Resort, not the hotel, resort. Um, it was just so dope to be in that room. $2 million worth of jewelry on set, live animals. It was a full production. Full
Mm.
production. And she's so cool. It was so cool to be with her. She's a really dope woman. Um, Want to shoot list? Definitely the Obamas. You know, anybody know them? Let me know. Hit me up. Oprah. Gotta get the girl Oprah. Not necessarily shoot Tyler Perry, but work with Tyler Perry on something.
Okay.
He's very much that guy. Um, Beyonce. Beyonce. Period. Yeah. Yeah.
We all love Beyonce. So, do you only shoot people, or do you do landscapes and places as well, or is there any place, anything you want, any objects you want to shoot, or just people?
No, no. I capture humans. I like capturing the joy in humans.
I can appreciate that because, like you say, joy, but it's the expressions, the expression of joy, how you feel changes so rapidly. So with that second, that brief second capture, it captures a lot about a person in that particular moment.
The only thing for me about capturing people's joy, no matter what the event was, whether it was a photo shoot or event, a lot of my images have been used for people's funerals. That was hard for me to digest because that's not what that image was taken for.
Mm.
But I get it in retrospect because the family decided that is the image that captures that person at a happy moment while they were living. That was a little hard for me, especially when my friend committed suicide. I had did a photo shoot of her down by Ben's Chili Bowl. We
Mm.
had us a good old time, took all these pictures, and I was like, "Oh, girl," boop, boop, boop. But she didn't smile a lot. But I could always get her to smile. And
Mm.
when I walked in her funeral, I broke down because I didn't do that photo shoot for her funeral. But yeah.
I've never once thought about that, right? Like the photo, typically we take a photo when someone passes, and if it's a professional, like our, not to get too morbid, like close people in my family, like I already know the images that perfectly embody like who they are, what they represent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of them came from professional shots or photo shoots. I never once thought of how that photographer felt about us putting that image in there. So, do you know who owns the rights to photos? Like when you shoot them, or maybe there's a question you know or don't know. You shoot them, they're the property of the people, or do you still have some kind of legal claim to those photos?
So if there is a contract in place
Mhm.
discussing ownership, people can buy the ownership of the images. But I typically don't do that unless it's like a corporate gig. Like I have a corporate client where the Congressional Black Caucus, I feel like I could just say it. But it's a lot of
Mhm.
politicians. They own all the images I take because what comes with being a politician.
Right, right.
But typically, I don't give the ownership of the images. So, yes, I do own them, but I'm not going to go out here and sue nobody for using my pictures on a funeral. But I typically don't feel away, but I did because she was my close friend for that one.
Mhm.
But yeah, other people have used my images for like, their parents or grandparents. I just, started to tell myself I should be honored that the family thought that this was the best image of that person.
Mhm.
So as I've gotten older, I think because I started this so young, like I'm 33, so I was 33 minus 15 when I started, whatever that is.
Mhm.
So, I
Well,
was
you
young.
engineer.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever that number is. 20
Mhm.
something? It sounds about right. Yeah.
I remember once I watched a story about wartime photographers, and they were it's a Pulitzer Prize photo, and the point of the story was that kind of what you're speaking of is that the observer notices the subjects in the picture, and that's the important part. But to oftentimes to get that picture or surrounding that photo is a much bigger story of how of the struggle you had to do to get there, how you set the shot up, or as you say, even later on in life, that photo is used for a different context. So to you, oftentimes, I feel like as a photographer, those stories have a whole different those photos have a whole different story, a whole different meaning behind them because you know the background of that story.
Yes.
And it was interesting watching those, like I said, those Pulitzer Prize winners give the full background of saying you're looking at this war scene, but not knowing I almost got killed 2 minutes before
Trying
that
to
trying to
get
get up
there.
into the
Yeah.
mountain. So there's a whole story to that, and you can see this pretty photo I got an award for.
But I feel like with the update of Instagram, including videos and like reels, people are starting to show more of behind the scenes with photo shoots and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like me, I'll hire a videographer for like a large corporate gig, so other corporate entities can see the capacity of what I'm doing.
One of our friends, who calls Berkeley, Boss Heavy, our photo guy. Boss Heavy has his camera, and then he's filming himself shooting with his phone at the same time. Like so, he's getting his content in this, and doing his shooting at the same time. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
I used to do that. That takes a lot of commitment.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So I had this gig for GW Law School. I was doing their graduation photos. 200 grads. I'm shooting 200 grads and trying to get content of me for the internet. It's a lot. I said, I'm not doing this again.
So what do you do now?
I put in the budget. I'm hiring a videographer.
Yeah.
So the videographer follows me around for the 2 days, gets the content, makes the reel. Thank you.
You pass those costs on to your GW, for example.
I don't know if I want to talk about that
No,
on the public platform. I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, that's right. And that's what we wanted to get to the business of the business. As far
Okay,
as
we're getting
like
nitty-gritty.
for people who are aspiring photographers or may have always wanted to do it and have been sitting on the sidelines. We intend to try to get them as much game as we can. So hearing these behind the scenes stories and some of the tidbits from someone who's got 15 years of experience is definitely beneficial. So,
and I asked that because of this though. To that point, from people who don't routinely hire photographers professionally to do things, once you get those quotes, oftentimes you don't understand what all they include. So what I was asking you earlier about why do your pictures look different than my pictures? What that's more so what's coming from is in our business, oftentimes we reach out and ask for quotes for photography things, and we get them back, and they say people who don't understand the work that goes in behind it don't understand the price tag that comes along with it, and what all that encompasses.
Not just going to your, let's say it's an event. Me coming to your event is not just about me coming. It's about my availability, right? Me bringing all my equipment there, traveling to get there. The hours I spend going through the photos. Say I take 1,400 images at your event. I got to go through the 1,400, pick out the best ones, edit the lighting, crop, whiten people's teeth, smooth their skin, remove things. You doing that? Are you doing that? No. That's what people pay me for. But yes, I can tell when someone has not worked with a photographer by the questions they ask me. Like literally, I had a coworker the other day, this week, Monday. Yeah, I think it was Monday. He was like, "Oh yeah." So I did headshots at work as a donation initiative because we're trying to fundraise to get a vending machine. So instead of people paying me to get their headshots, it's like, "Hey, we're having a headshot day, and come give a donation for the vending machine." This guy thought I just did them for free, and I said, "No, it was a fundraiser for work." He was like, "Oh, I missed that part." I said, "We said $100 suggestion."
Right.
So I quoted him how much it would be for me to do it on our lunch break, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, I thought it was free." I said, "No, babe, no."
It's definitely one of those things that it's a sticker shock for people who don't
Yes.
But to your
And I
earlier
know
point,
people aren't used to hiring a photographer when they say, "Oh, what all that come? What all come with that?"
that's the niggas gonna ask you that.
You gotta
Hey, so
bear with
what's
him.
the
You gotta
fee?
bear
What's
with
the
him.
fee?
You
What's all
gotta
that?
bear with him.
So
Because again,
then I tell you the list of things that come with it, and you'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna
all
get back
right.
to you."
You're right.
That's the last time we ever talk. I already know.
You already know what it is, yeah.
And then, listen, this the part to get me. When my friends hire a photographer, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, how much they charge you?" "Oh wow, okay, yeah." Because I would never leave my house for that. Okay, great. And then they'd be like, "They was late. The pictures was blurry. You could barely see." I was like,
You
but
don't
you ain't
say.
want, you ain't want to pay me to do it."
Get what you pay for, people.
I be
Get
trying to tell
what
them. I be
you pay
trying to tell them. And then, some photographers ghost people. I was talking to somebody today. The photographer was supposed to give them maternity pictures for a baby shower. The baby shower was this weekend. The pictures were supposed to be back a week ago. The baby shower was on Saturday. Today is Thursday.
for.
She like, "Where are my photos?" I said, "Oh, is she responding?" Like, cause I was like, maybe you need to file some papers, cause she paid a pretty penny for these maternity pictures.
Right.
I
You
have
know?
seen a lot of photographers on the civil court shows, your Judge Judy's and them. I see it often. I do
Yeah.
see that often.
I noticed a lot of photographers overpromise and underperform.
Let's stick right there. Let's talk about that.
So they say, "Oh yeah, we do the shoot. I give it to you tomorrow." Okay.
Mm.
Tomorrow come, you don't get nothing. But they're like, "It's okay tomorrow." And then you're at the point where you're just hitting them up every couple of days because they told you tomorrow 2 weeks ago. "Oh, I got really busy with work. I'm gonna get it to you." That's overpromising and underperforming. So me, I underpromise and overperform. That's my little secret sauce.
That's a gem. That's not even just for photography though. That's
Just
just in
life.
general.
Just life.
When you hype something up and set a bar so high, you put that seed in their mind of okay, it's gonna be
And they gonna hold
that,
you to it.
and they're holding you to that. And if you can't live up to that,
You will be
appointment,
nothing.
resentment,
Yeah.
all that sets in, and then you don't have any return clients because the real benefit of photography, in my mind, right, would be your referrals and your repeat clients. You meet that mark one time, they're going to come back and use you for everything, all the other life events, school pictures,
Literally, I've
Christmas
watched
pictures.
these families grow. I did family photos for a friend. We went to college together. I did his engagement pictures, their wedding. They got 2 kids. I didn't. We about 7, 8 years in of me shooting their life growing up. I'm a part of the family. I'm their family photographer. I have a couple of friends like that. I was shooting them their anniversary as boyfriend and girlfriend. They're now married with 2 kids. I follow the people. But back to the secret sauce. If I at the shoot I tell you, "Oh, you'll have the pictures in 7 to 10 days," you have that standard. 7 to 10 days, I'll get my pictures. Boop 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 boop. You get them in 3, you're like, "Wow."
Mm.
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna
You
tell
get
you.
them in 6, you're like, "Wow."
Wow. Yeah. And they look
And
at
what I feel like is the misstep a lot of people make is on that front end, they want to tell you what they think you want to hear
Yes.
instead of the realistic timeline. And I think and timelines are something that's easy one to set expectation for because it's a timeline.
Yeah.
So I just generally, I want to always go to the longer end of the timeline in the initial conversation. And then, like you say, I want to come in 2, 3 days early, make everybody's happy. But I think, like I said, all the people want to tell you, "Oh, no, it'll take me 2 days," to try to sound cool on the front end,
right.
knowing that it's going to be trouble if you get it done in 2 days. They know that. But they want to sound good, try to make the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that has been a stickler for me because in my engineering side, as a project manager, when we don't meet our timeline, the
Mm,
governor
mm, mm.
is upset. We have governor mandated timelines we must adhere to. So when we beat those at work, oh, we're doing great. So I brought that over to my engineering. I don't want nobody, I mean, with the photography, I don't want nobody asking me when they pictures are.
Mm.
And I hate people ask me, and the timeline hasn't arrived. Well, I am still in my grace period of the 7 days.
Right.
So if I want to go to a game, if I want to go out of town, if I want to go out with my friends, I'm still in that time frame. You get your pictures in the 7 to 10 business days. But sometimes, like corporate gigs and stuff like that, I'll give them a longer time frame, like 7 to 14 business days, because like the large volume GW, I'm not editing that. I outsource it. So I gotta put in time for them to process it and then for me to review what they did. So, but I still communicate the timelines and beat it.
Oh, and see, and when I say telling clients what they want to hear, yes, of course, you want to be cognizant of their needs when their personal timelines are and those type of things. That's important. But at the same time, you don't want to set yourself up for failure.
Exactly.
So, so you gotta work within your own means to get a realistic time frame, realistic deadlines, and it makes the relationship go further.
But
It's easy to do.
that's why I include that in the initial consultation, because if you have a due date of December 12th, but I know I'm going out of town from the 11th to the 6th, I'm not doing your shoot on the 5th. We're going to need to do your shoot a little bit earlier so I can get it to you before, you know what I mean? But it's all about being transparent.
Mm-hmm.
I had some issues before when I used to do weddings. I would be the photographer and I would get a videographer. Videographer was out here ghosting people.
Mm-hmm. And that falls poorly on you because you don't want that hook that up. Got you out here looking funny in the sunlight.
But I was smart because I had it as a separate contractor, not as a subsidy of mine.
Yeah.
That was literally my only saving grace. These people were ready to go to court. Multiple wedding clients. He was
Still, your
ghosting.
name is on it though,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes,
Not
yes.
not 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 legally, but like
No, but
your
I'm
word is your
saying like
bond.
they were trying to get legal because it was months, and he kept saying, "Oh, it'll be tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow." He's one of those tomorrow people,
Mm.
and yeah. But I had delivered the images. They been had their wedding images,
Right.
but it wasn't my contract. And I still have relationships with those people. Those people have hired me since. It didn't sever that.
Yeah.
But I am very leery about referring.
And who you vouch for?
Yeah.
I understand.
Because it messes up my reputation that I worked so hard to build.
So let's talk about outsourcing. What does your team look like? How do you pick and choose? Like, is it this videographer or this photographer works in the same kind of style as me, or is it the opportunity that you jump at? How do you, again, with 15 years in, you can kind of pick and choose what you will say yes to and what you won't. What does that process look like?
So I think after like those multiple wedding debacles, I was kind of not in the business of referring people, and I was just very much like, hey, I'm a photographer. I don't know any videographers. Y'all gonna get on the internet like the rest of the world, because I was just so anxious. But I joined this amazing community, the Peculiar
Mm.
Collective. It's a group of photographers and videographers, mainly in the DMV area, but there are some in other states and stuff. And being in that community and like sharing my stories. So, you kind of feel like you're alone in the field because like no one else in my family is well, my uncle is a photographer, but he doesn't have like a business. But other people didn't understand like the business things I was going through with photography, but being in this group, they really understood, and I was like, oh, whew. And then I met some other dope videographers that I now refer, and I feel comfortable referring because I know that they will deliver. But yeah, being in that community made me feel more comfortable, and I refer people. But it just depends because there's like so many people in that group. I don't want to just refer the same person every time for everything because every client needs are different. So when I get something in, whether I'm covering it or not, I get more information about like the style and what they're looking for, and I'll try to send a videographer to go with that. And then for my personal needs, when I have a contract, I just think about who would be most helpful, not necessarily their expertise in photography, because if it's a large corporate gig for me, it's not really their style, it's about how they can help me that day, because they might not even take pictures,
Mm.
but they can set up lights, make sure I'm good, and there's other things that happen that are not actually taking pictures. So I have my friend Nicole. She does a lot of my corporate gigs with me. Hey, girl.
Shout out Nicole. And what's that group called again?
The Peculiar Collective.
Peculiar Killer. And do they meet at certain places throughout the DMV? I remember I was down in Union Market a month or two ago, and there was like this group of photographers and videographers doing like just a makeshift shoot.
Yeah,
And we were like, oh,
that
this is collective of
sounds.
people that come together. I was like, oh, it's dope. And they had like a car set up there. They had like different settings, and people were just going. They had like an inside outside situation. I was like, yo, this is dope.
So that might be Portrait Meet DC. That's another one.
Okay.
But Peculiar Collective, they have meetings everywhere from like New York, Philly, DC, everywhere. But yeah, it's really dope.
That's what's up.
I feel
It's
like
good to be
that's,
in community with your passion.
and I think now is an easier time than ever to do that. It's now you can go online, you can find a Discord, you can find the Facebook group, whatever you're looking for. There's a group of people who also are doing that same thing in your area, and that's whatever the case may be, no matter what it is nowadays. It's a group
Yeah.
out there for you. And it's not hard to find these type of subgenres once you get in there and understand what's going on.
But I also feel like it's different from like being in a chat than like actually meeting them and being
Oh,
around them.
it's definitely different levels of that.
Yes.
Because, as you say, it's one thing to be able to use the social media to network, but the next level is what you do outside of that network. So we get to get
Yes.
together and break bread and actually pass jobs along to each other. That's the next level of it. So some of those groups, like you say, we just chatting online, gossiping. But a lot of times you can find a good group where you say we could actually work together, become friends, and become lifelong friends off and business partners and pass business along. So
Yeah.
but don't they are available for you down
And then like some of the people in the group, we have the same client. So like the guy who started the Peculiar Collective, we both are hired by GW, but they hire us for different things. So it's
Mm,
not even like it's a competition. I do the graduation and he does their dean's reception every year.
mm,
So they invited me to the dean's reception and I saw him there. I was like, "Oh hey, what's up?" Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "You shooting this by yourself? This thing is huge. You
mm,
need
mm.
you need another person."
There you go.
They rented out the whole African American museum. It
there.
was dope.
I want to go to an event there.
Oh my
I've
god,
been
it was
there. I've been there
amazing.
about 6, 7 times. It's my favorite museum in the entire world.
It's definitely one of my favorites. But going to an event there with a
Yeah,
live performance,
yeah,
top tier, top tier.
yeah. I can
Never
imagine.
been.
I've
I've been
seen them,
invited once, they couldn't
and I
go.
want to go to one of them joints.
What? You missed a once in a lifetime opportunity.
I couldn't go.
Most
I
What you
was
people
miss?
don't even get an
Did
invite.
you miss?
it was somebody was having an art show in wine. I think it was like the Black Caucus. It was somebody was having a wine and art show there. And I had to be in Atlanta that weekend.
Mm.
So I couldn't go.
I need to get on Ben's email list. I didn't get that one.
Hey man, the sad part I couldn't go. So I wish I was there. But yeah, bro.
So, what is like continuing education for a photographer look like? Like, what do you use? What resources do you use to like sharpen your skills? I'm sure even what they say, a wise man is the one that knows he knows nothing. All right. How do you keep yourself humbled and stay sharp with what it is, everything photography based? Or
At
is it just
this,
experience, just doing shoots?
I don't know. I was just gonna say at this stage in my career, I'm outsourcing. I'm not really trying to learn new
Mm,
tricks. I'm trying to figure
mm,
out how to spend less time so
mm,
I can enjoy time with my friends and family.
mm.
So what does that look like? So actual like what are the ways that you learn to make that smaller? Is it just for the outsourcing, getting other people? Is it you learning techniques to make things simpler, work faster?
Yes. So I have a program. So remember I told you like if I'm at your event, I take 1,400 images. I have a program that'll auto cull all those
Mhm.
images and bring it down to the best 200-300 shots, instantly saving me hours worth of time.
This is AI. The AI
Yes.
programmer does that. That's dope. It's here, y'all. AI comes up in all of our conversations on the podcast, right?
It is very much AI.
Get down and lay down.
I'm here for it. It's like $100 a year, and it saved me hours. Sign me up. Sign me up. Writing it off to the business. Sign me up. I hire retouchers for when people want XYZ retouched. Go ahead, send that to the guy. I'm not about to sit on a computer for hours trying to liquidate the skin. No, sirree. I could be hanging out with my family. Yeah.
Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I need to get somebody to liquidate my skin. Maybe that's what I need.
There's people to do that, you know.
Maybe that's my problem with the pictures. Maybe the touch-up artists get me right. Maybe that's what you look into.
We're gonna see Ben in a couple of weeks with some glamour shots out here.
Yeah, hey, you never know.
Yo, y'all remember Hollywood shots? Oh my God.
Yeah. I was at my mom's house for Thanksgiving, going through some old pictures, like in crates, and found some Hollywood pictures in that.
Whole time, Benny got a photo shoot not too long ago. I had the little future hat, Sunday brunch hat photo shoot. We got one of them.
Hey,
Shout out to Men of Stature, man. They had me pull up for a photo shoot.
The Cam Newton hat on.
I want to see.
Nah, man, chill.
I want to see. You gotta send it.
No, that was a fun time, man. To hang with the fellas, highlighting men, and they're doing our thing. But yeah, I forgot about that track. It was a couple of years ago.
Oh, nice.
You funny, man.
I'm hating. Like I said, I need me a photo shoot. I'm hating. I need some professional headshots.
Yeah,
I might have to. For real. I need something.
Matter of fact, the men of EIG need to do a group shoot. We've been talking about like doing headshots for years. We tried ourselves. We had to retreat. Hey man, go ahead and post up on the wall right here. We just need to do an official shoot and get some headshots.
Let me know. We can set that up.
Too easy.
They might have to do that for real. Because I need something. I'm joking, but I'm serious though. I don't take good pictures. I don't stand for pictures. I don't take it. I just don't. It's not my wheelhouse. I need somebody to set it up for.
Everybody that says that, then they get in front of my camera and they be like, "Oh man, I love this."
I mean, they're voguing. I feel you.
Yeah, authentic networking and relationships, man. Just that easy, y'all. What's next? What's next for you? Are you completely outsourcing everything in a minute, and we're just gonna see you getting flown out and traveling and doing all your things? And then also tell everybody where they can get access to you, plug the website, plug the socials, so that they can get their shots taken the right way.
I will still continue to be behind the camera. I will still take the images.
And in front of the camera. You got some dope shoots out there. We see you.
Okay, thank you.
We see you.
Okay, thank you. I'm working on coming from behind the camera, showing the world my personality. I felt like I should keep it from the world and just, keep it for like my friends and family. But I will say, me putting my personality on the internet, I definitely think that has helped like my business grow. My Instagram more specifically. But speaking of my Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at Nini_photo, NINI_photo. My website, link in the bio. But if you don't have Instagram, it's imagescompose.com. And I'm also on Google, Exquisitely Composed Images, LLC. Yeah, that's how people find me.
Quick point I want to double back on real quick. We are in, especially if you have a service-based business, whereas though somebody just randomly going online looking for a service, Instagram, prime example, the differentiator between your service and other person's service is your personality, is your story. Yes. There are going to be certain people that's going to say, "Oh, give me the cool, funny black girl," other than the random other person, just because of that alone. So I feel like a lot of times we getting out early, like I said about myself, getting our own heads, don't want to be in front of the camera, don't think I look good, whatever. Especially in those service-based businesses, what's going to differentiate you from other people is you, what you got going on, your story. Somebody's going to follow you just because they think you're funny, not even wanting a photography right now. Oh, that girl I know will follow, she does pictures. Let me go a year later. You know what I mean? So that goes the wrong way.
Literally, every time I do a consultation now, I ask people like, "Oh, how did you find me?" Blah blah blah. Most of them say Instagram or Google, and I was like, oh, "Okay, well, what made you pick me from the other person?" It always goes back to my personality. I look fun. It don't got to do with the pictures. I barely post my pictures. You gotta literally go to my website to see the pictures I take.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even post them on my page really anymore. I went through this weird phase because I didn't understand what Instagram was looking for. They just want to see people's personality. I figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be some people out there that's gonna love you for you just being you.
Yeah.
Authenticity wins. That's what I've learned in my lifetime. Authenticity wins. Well, everybody on Instagram trying to be fake, they're trying to be extra, trying to the authentically you person is gonna always win.
I think that's what I was confused about before because everybody was being fake, posting all these like perfect images. So I was trying to post my best images. But I noticed my best images wasn't getting good likes. And I'm like, what the world? But then okay images of me, not even the best images of me, were doing good. And then once we got into the video, okay, I put like a little video slideshow. It wasn't really doing much. But if I put me in there, my personality, the numbers was up. I was like, oh, they respond to my personality. Okay, bet.
Yeah.
And we learned that way back in grade school, talking about be yourself, right? So, elementary school, like little nuggets like that. We knew, we just didn't, it took for life to smack us in the face to realize that, man, yeah.
But I was hesitant about sharing myself with the internet because I also feel like the internet will take a 2-second clip and roast somebody about it.
Oh, that's a fact.
People go viral every day, B.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But even
like,
though
we're on this podcast for an hour. They listen to 2 seconds, take it and run, but didn't hear the context about what was actually happening.
Right.
100%, you got to be cautious, careful, but you still got to, go protect yourself. But it's the same as everything else. When you're young, somebody's they made fun of me because I had glasses. Whatever the case may be, it's gonna be always somebody to say something negative. And the online trolls are even worse than that. But you get used to it and roll with it and fuck them, live your life. And the good always outshines the bad. The people that fuck with you will always fuck with you because they're gonna be more of them. It's just natural. Like if you're a good person, they're gonna always outshine the people that don't. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think I just had to get comfortable in my own skin.
Get out of our own heads.
Yes.
We learned that in sales a long time ago. People don't buy what you have; they buy who you are.
Ooh.
And you can care less what it is that you have to offer. They're buying from you. So let that personality shine.
What I'm saying. Yeah.
Look at car salesmen. Like you ever see? I've known a few car salesmen with no sales experience, but they just matter of fact, prime example. What's my man that popped out the trunk where the money resides? My man had no sales experience, right? But everybody was buying cars from him, you know what I'm saying? Because
he was funny.
He had the personality, right? And he was outselling everybody month after month after month. Where I bought my car out Manassas earlier this year. The dude that was selling me my car, I could tell he was always at the top of the charts because he had personality, So let that personality shine, y'all.
Working on it.
This was a dope exchange. I didn't know what to expect from the photographer conversation, but this was dope. I enjoyed it.
I appreciate you having me.
Thank you for coming.
Gracing us with your presence and having this extraordinary exchange right here. Vince, you got anything for us before we head out?
Be yourself, set realistic expectations, and oversee them. That's the 2 takeaways from the day.
Great recap.
I just had a epiphany. I had one in the last episode too. We need to end each podcast with Jerry had his final thoughts. So we need to have Ben's final thoughts, man. You're the philosopher of the group, man. At the end of every podcast, hey man, what's Ben's final thoughts?
My problem is sometimes I go off the rails, but if I get it concise, I got you.
Nah, you good, man. But again, Nini, appreciate you. Y'all know where to find us. We'll put all her information in the captions. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. I'm Nate. That's Benz. We are 2 of 12 Black Men. That's a part of the Extraordinary Investment Group who are doing dope stuff, affecting the community in positive ways through education and smart financial strategies. You know what it is. You know the vibes. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. We'll see y'all in the next episode.
I mean, my
Yo, look at that! Look at that! What is that? What is that?
That's the effect on the iPhone. I didn't know if it was gonna do it. Oh my god!
Hey, season 2, but we need more. We need effects, man. We need
Right. We slipping. We
That's
got the
budget,
grass background. We got fireworks going on.
Man. We all got shit going on, man. Come on, man. What's the budget?
We need to step it up. Yeah, we need. Salute.